Let's go. Let's get right into it. Episode 569. Nice. Let's go. Get right into it. It's Tucker Carlson, Adam Carolla, and they're speaking about, Tucker's speaking about being young. And he says something very interesting. And now I'm gonna extend what he's saying. I'm gonna expound on what he's saying in my own way. But talking about younger people and how they're actually not as open-minded as you'd think. And if someone said that to me 5, 6, 7 years ago, I'd be like, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're the most open-minded. 10 years ago, I think you're crazy saying that. But when I hear that today, I know what he means. There's a lot of young people who will accept the narrative as it is right away, no matter what, and will change with the wind the second that the mainstream media tells them so. It's really interesting to see. It's not usually how young people are. I believe there was someone who said, they said something along the lines like the revolution always lies with the youth. Something along those lines. And it's true. Every revolution that needs to happen, of any kind, nonviolent of course, always lies with the younger people. They're the ones that will carry the torch and fight the good fight and see a better, brighter world. But in recent times, they don't seem like they're doing that. They don't seem like they care to be doing that. So let me play what Tucker Carlson has to say about that. Before I do, I have to bring you to the store. This is IamCoachColin.com, and I want to show you our newest design. It's the We the People tee, and it is fabulous. Some people say you will own nothing and be happy, and we the people say no. I love this design. It makes me so happy. You can get yours right here. IamCoachColin.com. At any moment in time you choose to, you can get this shirt. We also have hoodies of the same design as well. Let's check out a hoodie. This is a new design. The wife just put it up for me, so I should really verify what we have. I know what I wanted her to put up, but let's verify. There it is. We got the hoodie as well. Yes. We got the women's t-shirt, men's t-shirt, men's tank top, women's tank top. Beautiful, beautiful. All of that's available on IamCoachColin.com. We also have we have the Public Enemy #1 shirt, sold not for sale shirts, all sorts of stuff. Go and check it out. And if you want 10% off of anything you see there, just put in the discount code IamCoachColin. That's all you need to do. It's all capital letters. It's all one word. There's one L in the name Colin, and that will get you 10% off. All right. I know it's a design that I made, but when I see it, it just makes me so happy, just to see the one finger salute pointed at the person who deserves it the most, warms my heart. All right, let's get into this clip here. Let's go.
You can't see certain things when you're younger. And it's like young people, you'd think they'd be the most open-minded of all. They're the least open-minded because they're afraid of the future. So they want to believe whatever storyline they've been fed is true. Like the only problem with America is white supremacy, and like our tax system is fair, and Kennedy was assassinated by a lone gunman or whatever. They don't want to face like the terrifying unknown and complexities of the actual world we live in, the reality of life, which is like we have no freaking idea what's going on, actually. They don't want to admit that.
Yeah, I would say that's true for younger people, micro and macro, because when you're 31, as you've discussed, and you're working for ESPN and you don't think it'd be a good idea to get vaccinated because you're fit and healthy and 31, you are making business decisions. It's not about the world's future. It's about your future. You may just have gotten married and had a young child. And
it's totally right. But this is why they hate Trump in D.C., because it is not as simple as like, oh, if I support Trump, I'll lose money. It's that Trump is a threat to the whole ecosystem of bullshit that makes Washington the richest city in the world and its suburbs the richest suburbs. because once you start questioning things, like basic things like, why do we have NATO? Well, no one can answer that question. NATO is obviously a force for instability and bad in the world, right? But no one allows himself to like update, their perceptions of NATO. It's like, no, they're keeping the Soviets at bay. Well, the Soviets don't exist anymore. So when Trump asks a question like that, nobody in DC can grapple with it honestly, because if we're being honest, their livelihoods are tied up in things like NATO and Head Start and Medicare and failed projects that no one's allowed to reassess because it will disempower them. That's the truth.
Yeah, my assessment of the era we just sort of passed through with an emphasis on COVID was...
Man, Tucker Carlson just laying it down. And the way that I wanted to expand on that is I don't think it's just young people. I think 100% he's true, and I never thought of that. I never really thought of that you're afraid of the unknown. You really are at a point, in your job or career or whatever, what have you, where you're really trying to not step on any toes. You're trying to get ahead. Maybe you've had a kid. There's a lot riding on you. You've never felt this type of pressure before, this adult pressure. Your parents can't step in, or at least you're young enough and old enough that you are too proud to have your parents step in. And you don't just want to go against the grain, and you're not used to having confrontations, and all of that's very true. Very, very true. But I'd say it's, when it comes to the whole narrative and things you're being fed, it's older people as well. It's not fun to have to look into things. It's really not. It's not fun. It's not fun when you see a 1-minute clip and you hear what the person's talking about, and there's 4 things that you should look into before you believe the 1-minute clip. And this 1-minute clip is all of a sudden giving you some kind of task that's going to take an hour. And you're like, I just wanted to see the clip. And the clip says this, and I'd rather just go with that. I see a clip about the World Economic Forum and the New World Order, and I just kind of want to go with that. But it's not fun to have to look into that to see if that's true. It's not. It's really not. And the thing about it is, in my opinion, going off into a different place, still staying with old and young, but the same person who takes in that anti-establishment 1-minute clip, and the person who sits in front of their TV and watches NBC, they're the same type of people. If you're just going to believe the 1-minute clip, you're exactly the same as the person who just believes the mainstream media. You're just blindly believing different things. It's not fun to have to all of a sudden question. It's not fun to all of a sudden be like, I just saw this on NBC. Let me see what CNN says. Let me see what Fox says. Okay, so that's the mainstream. Let me go see what now these independent journalists say. Let me check out Redacted. See if Daily Wire's talking about it. That's not fun. You just want to watch a thing and be told what is what. You really do. A lot of people really do. It's really not fun to think one thing and then get information counter and then have to tear down what you've known and let that part of you die off and then rebuild something else that takes time to do, different information, and then know that thing you just built up, that new mindset or that new information, could also be torn down at any time, and you'll have to rebuild something else with different new information. That's not fun for most people. Most people don't have time for that. They have jobs, and they have kids, and they have things they want to do, and they go to the gym 5 times a week. Sometimes, not a lot of people, but they got things that they'd rather focus on. Girlfriend, wife, kid, this, that. It's not fun. So I get it. I get it completely. Why people would want to just go with one narrative. Talking about what he's talking about, the lone gunman, in any assassination type of thing. I don't want to hear that. Because now I got to watch a documentary. I got to listen to some Joe Rogan clips with him talking about, go into the frame of like JFK. Now I got to listen to him talk about it. Now I got to listen to Tucker. Now I got to watch a documentary. And now I have to figure it out on my own, too. I have to figure out what's true from each little part. I have to think of 3 different ways that things could have worked out. And now I have to examine each one and which one makes the most sense. And then I got to make a decision. And then I have to defend it. If it's different from most people's, and that's the worst part. If what you think is different from most people, now you got to defend it in every room you go into, every time it comes up. Your argument has to be strong. It's not fun. If you just take in the thing that everybody else knows and then you're able to just say that, you guys can all agree, nod, and everything. And it's fun at the water cooler. Don't want to be ostracized from the water cooler. You don't want to be casted out. They still have water coolers at work, right? I haven't worked in a long time. But yeah, I get it for young people. But it's sad to see the state that they're in right now. And you know, if you're 65 right now, I'm the young people. I know that sounds weird. But when you see people who are even younger, teenagers, you know, they're being almost handicapped in a sense. You know, they're not getting the right information. They're being hit with so much sensory data constantly, like more than us. Because you go online and you're looking at this thing, you're looking at that thing, you're scrolling through stuff. Not only for the younger people are they getting that, what we're getting, but then also their actual life, their actual friends and everything is on there too. And they have to keep up with that and not talk about this thing and not do that thing and don't like that. And it's so different for them. It's like it's a real world. For us, if you grew up where the internet came into your life at like 13, 14, 15 years old, you're just like, I can put this thing away. For them, it's like, oh, I can never put this thing away. It's like an extension. It's not just like an extension of their mind. It's like an extension of their world. So they have to take in narratives because the narratives get pushed harder than ever through the phones. Before it was just the TVs. That's what the boomers had to deal with. The TV pushed the narrative so hard you could walk away from the TV. Now the phone pushes the narrative even harder than the TV ever did. And you can get attacked. The TV could never attack you. You know? TV couldn't cancel you. Now the phone can attack you. You interact with people. You can get attacked. You can get canceled. You know? It's so different. So different. But yeah, it makes sense. But I would say to anybody in that situation, old or young, maybe not don't do it all at once. But when you see a thing, question it and check out some different things and you'll learn something. Again, it's not fun, you know, or maybe you will think it's fun, but it's not the funnest thing in the world. But that's the price you pay in order to be an informed citizen. You know, like that's the best thing for a person is to be informed. Best thing for a population of people is for everyone to be informed properly. That's the price you pay nowadays. The price you paid before was you had to read the newspaper. And then all of a sudden the price you paid, you had to watch the TV, watch the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock and the 4 o'clock news and all that stuff. Now the price you have to pay is you have to see a post. You have to look into the post. You have to see if anything's written about it. You got to see if there's a doc. You got to see if Netflix made anything. You got to see if YouTube made anything. It's the price you pay though. And being informed, being able to make informed decision and see through the bullshit, it's priceless. You need to do it. You know? So if you're a young person out there and you're one of these people that Tucker was talking about, it's the price you pay. Don't worry about just wanting to walk the line and not upset people. It's going to happen sooner or later. You know? Sooner or later, you're going to have to upset somebody. Sooner or later. Pick. And when you're older, and you're an older person and this is happening, same for you. Maybe you've gone too long in your life without upsetting anybody. Take the chance now. But I'm not telling anybody what to do. But be informed. Stay informed the best you can. Don't pick one source. Pick multiple sources. And then question those sources. You know? And then come up with your own thoughts. Don't parrot things out. You know what I mean? It helps a lot. Anyways, guys, if you haven't liked the video already, like the video. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. And other than that, I'm out.